Good day, everyone. This is Module 4, Operating Systems and File Management. This is part one of a four-parter. Let's take a quick look at the objectives today. Explain the pros and cons of different types of operating systems. Explain how an operating system works. Personalize the computer operating system as well as its software and hardware to increase productivity. And manage files and folders. So let's get started. Differences between operating systems and software. Software systems that run on a computer, including the operating system and the utilities. Operating systems, or OS, is a program that manages the complete operation of your computer or mobile device and lets you interact with it. The platform is the same thing as your OS. That's what you're working with. Most operating systems come installed on your computer or your device. And I want to say one extra thing. You don't ever talk directly to the computer. You talk to the operating system, and the operating system talks to the hardware that's in your computer. Standard operating systems functions. You have starting and shutting down the computer or device, managing programs, managing memory, coordinating tasks, configuring devices, establish an internet connection, monitoring performance, providing file management, updating operating system software, monitoring security, and controlling the network access. All of these things are handled by your operating system. So it's a pretty busy puppy. Operating features. You have a GUI, or graphical user interface. The GUI controls how you interact with menus, programs, apps, visual images, and such as icons by touching, pointing, tapping, or clicking some type of button. Alrighty, so your utilities are the tools that you use to manage files, search for content on programs, view images, install, uninstall programs, apps, compress and backup files, and maintain computer or devices, maintenance type tasks. Okay. Screensavers are another type of utility. SaaS, this is software that is distributed online for a monthly subscription or an annual fee. An example of that would be Adobe's Adobe has that type of subscription. You could have there's several of them out there. So if you go out there to Adobe, it costs you $10 a month, and you'll be able to access just about any of their products. Not just about, you will be able to. Open closed source. Closed source programs keep all or some of the code hidden, enabling developers to control and profit from the programs they create. Open source programs and apps have no restrictions from the copyright holder regarding modifications and redistribution. Now here they're showing you a list of different types of operating systems that they have out there. Of course, you have Windows, and then you have the Mac, you have Unix, you have Linux, you have Chrome. All right, now there's others out there, but those are the main players right now. And as you can see, most of them are able to be used on laptops, but the only one that's strictly laptops is the Chrome OS. Right, this is based on the Linux, uses the Google Chrome browser as its user interface, and primarily runs on web apps. Okay, it acts a little bit different than the other guys. Of course, Unix and Linux are, Unix is not GUI based. So therefore it doesn't have It doesn't have you pushing all these nice little buttons and everything. Linux, however, is distributed under the terms of general public license, which allows you to copy the OS for your own use and give others to sell, right? You can find that on desktops and laptops and so forth. Same thing for the Unix. It's multitasking operating system with many versions as the code is licensed to different developers. And then there's Mac. Of course, it includes the Siri virtual assistant coordination with the Apple mobile devices and cloud file storage. And then there's Windows. It supports Katana, virtual assistant, touchscreen input, HoloLens headsets, and built-in apps such as Microsoft Edge and browser. Now, there are some servers that have the same kind of version running on it, but is mainly set up to be a server. So the server version of Windows include advanced security tools and a set of programs called Internet Information Services that manage web apps and services. Mac server, Mac OS server rather, supports all sizes of networks and servers. One unique feature is that it lets authorized users access servers using their iPhone and or other Apple devices. And then there's Unix. It is a multi-purpose operating system that can run on desktops, PCs, or servers. Many web servers which are internet computers that store web pages and deliver them to your computer or device, use Unix because it is powerful, flexible operating system. It's been around a long time, and Unix actually started out as a freeware for anyone to use. And one of the reasons why it's so powerful is so many people have developed apps for it or through it, and it has really taken off. It's the competition for Windows. And of course, for your phones, you have Android and you have iOS. Android, developed by Google based on Linux and designed to be ran on many types of smartphones and tablets. And then there's the iOS, it runs only on Apple devices, including the iPhone, iPad, iPod, delivered from Mac OS. Desktop, identify desktop components. Okay, so we want to take a look at a Windows type machine, and the desktop contains icons for the programs and files, as well as toolbars, taskbars, menus, and buttons you can use to start programs and apps. Windows, your window, a rectangular shape work area that displays an app or collection of files, folders, and tools. You then also have a menu, a list of related items, including folders, applications, and commands. Dialog boxes, windows with controls that let you tell the operating system how you want to complete a command. All right, so a file is a collection of information stored on your computer, such as a text document or spreadsheets, uh, a spreadsheet, photo, or song. Data file. Data file contains words, numbers, pictures that you can manipulate. Spreadsheet database, presentations, and a word processing document. Executable file contains the instructions your computer or device needs to run programs and apps. File format determines the type or types of program and apps that can use to open and display the work with a file. File extension is 3 or 4 letter sequence preceded by a period at the end of the file name that identifies the file as a particular type of document, such as .docx, which would be a Word document, or .jpg, which would tell you that this is a graphic file. It's a JPEG is the normal name for it. Folder, a name, location, or stored medium that usually contains related documents. And then there's a library. This is a special folder that catalogs specific files and folders in a central location, regardless of where the items are actually stored on your device. So they they don't have to be stored together. The library just keeps them so a reference for where they're located. So when you click on it, you automatically go in. All right. So what's the purpose of an operating system? It's responsible for coordinating the resources and activities on a computer. All right. So it manages the interaction between hardware and software. Here's a scenario for you. You want to print a flyer that you created in your word processing program. One, the operating system establishes connection to the printer. Two, it sends the flyer document to the printer. And three, lets other software know the printer is busy until it's finished printing the flyer. During this process, the operating system directs internal components such as the processor or RAM and storage device to manage and complete its task. All right, so let's talk real quick about how it manages memory. All right, so there's different types of memory on your computer or in your computer. The first one is the volatile memory. That's going to be your RAM. Okay, that means that if power is shut off, it stops working and it stops remembering. Non-volatile memory does hold on to whatever was written to it without power being applied. Random access memory, that they separated the two, but random access memory or RAM is the same thing as volatile memory. Then you have cache. That's another type of memory. Pretty old memory for the early days of computers. Virtual memory. This is memory that isn't quite it's not the hard drive. And typically what happens is it will hold a spot on the hard drive. So that way, when it reads, if it needs to store something for a little short period of time, it can store it on the hard drive. However, it won't be made to disappear if power is lost because it's on the actual hard drive. ROM, this is a read-only memory, and it's written to anytime. Actually, it's a read-only memory, and it was programmed at the factory. Flash memory is memory that you can update. These are EEPROMs that have been can be rewritten to. One of the flash ones that you have is your BIOS. All right, so that ends chapter 3. I'm sorry, part 1, and we're going to go into part 2, which is going to start us off with the boot process. I'll see you on the next show. Thank you.